Welcome, UCalgary. I wasn't expecting so many people to be here. I think everybody's pretty excited to be here. Is that true? We're all pretty excited? So we here at UCalgary are all about starting something. And we have students, teachers, faculty, and staff, volunteers in the crowd today. And I think we are very much on the same page about that. You guys would agree with me? Yes. Okay. That was a little bit weak. Let's go right off the bat. People have said I start counting down and doing stuff, so that's what we're going to do today. Right off the bat. We are starting something, so what we're going to do, count down. 3, 2, 1, start something. And we're going to be loud and proud with it, ladies and gentlemen. Can we do that? Again, a little bit weak. We have to do more than that. Let's get a 3, 2, 1, start something. That's right, that's right. So I am. You give yourselves a little round of applause for that. That was good, that's good. My name is Jonathan Cornish, and I am the 15th Chancellor of this great university. See, I love just being able to say that and just getting applause. It's nice. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are situated today on land that falls on the traditional territories of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. And this includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation, as well as the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. And the city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Region 3 of Alberta. But like we said, we're all here. I think we've all been very excited to hear this. So let's get right to it. Welcome to the Community Report of 2022, and it is a big day. It's one of many big days lately. Thursday, is my first convocation as Chancellor of UCalgary. It was amazing, and I got to share in one of life's biggest moments with thousands of students, honoring their hard work, their resilience, and to play a part in their success stories. Our newest alumni are about to start something. Can we do this? 3, 2, 1. Start something. In a big way, and they're not alone. Starting something is what we're all about here, and it's time to celebrate. How far Calgary has come over the past 5 years. It's time to track our trajectory as a university, to look at all those milestones that we've hit, those goals we've achieved and surpassed as we set our eyes high. So today you're going to hear about our achievements since 2017, the bold steps forward in teaching and learning, in research excellence, and in community partnerships. Honestly, if I were to give you a list of all the wins that we've had as a university, we'd be here for hours, even days. That's how much we've achieved. But don't take it from me. In a moment, you'll hear from our President Ed McCauley about UCalgary gaining this momentum, delivering impact in our community and around the world. You'll also hear from a panel of students and about their perspectives on the university, both now and into the future. Because it's time to celebrate eyes high and start looking forward to what's next for UCalgary. And for that, we'll need all of you. Before I leave the stage, I'm just going to count down one more time because we're getting something done here. 1, 2, 3. Start something. Check out this video on our achievements.
Thank you, John. We started something officially on Thursday with John's installation. We are going to have a blast for the next 4 years, I can tell you. And John, thank you so much for starting us off in a good way. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see so many people here. Every day, we come to campus. Our students, our faculty, and staff, and we strive to make the world a better place. And that's what great research universities do. By knowledge creation, knowledge empowerment, knowledge mobilization, we make it healthier, more humane, fairer, and more sustainable, and more prosperous. Through your creativity and determination, we have impact. And there is nowhere that impact is greater than here in our community. This year is the final year of our strategic plan, Eyes High. It challenged us, and we challenged ourselves to sharpen our focus on scholarship and research, to enrich the quality and breadth of learning, and to integrate our university with the community. It contained audacious goals, like becoming Canada's top 5 research universities, raising more than $1.1 billion. It contained ambitious plans, like expanding partnerships, reinventing curricula to be more relevant, improving the student experience, and fostering a truly collaborative culture on our campuses. I'm here today to report how we did and to ask for your insight and input into what we should do next as a community. I don't have to tell anyone in this room that we've all come through a lot. It's been a couple of years unlike any others. Everyone here and all of your families have experienced extraordinary challenges. And during that period, I watched incredible acts of perseverance. I attended 3 separate plays performed by our students in the creative and performing arts, performed under extraordinarily difficult circumstances with transparent masks to an audience of only a few people. But we didn't just survive. Despite the challenges, we thrived. And so you don't need to take my word for it. Let's start with the numbers. A very big number, in fact, $504 million. That's how much the University of Calgary received last year in research funding, up 20% since 2017. When we set our eyes high, we set them very high. Because back in 2017, when we set out to become a top 5 research university, the goal was audacious indeed. Not only did we challenge ourselves to enter this prestigious club, we challenged ourselves to make history, because no university, none, had ever done it so fast. But last year, not only did the University of Calgary become a top 5 research university, we became the youngest university ever to do so. Over the last 5 years, we brought in $2.37 billion in external research revenue because of the hard work of our faculty, our staff, and our students. This is a big number. Approximately 80% of that number was used to support jobs at the University of Calgary, to support our students through hands-on learning opportunities and expanded student experiences. These were the results of competitive processes where our scholars shone on the provincial, national, and international stage. Audacious goal set, audacious goal met, which is amazing. But what's the impact of that funding? It's a big number. What's the impact? Well, for someone who has had a stroke, its impact is literally life-changing and life-saving. The Calgary Stroke Program is one of the world's largest stroke management programs. And with AHS, UCalgary scholars are making incredible breakthroughs. Escape trial research has cut deaths from ischemic stroke in half. Near-and-tide research has increased survival by almost 8% when delivered properly. And just last week, our scholars showed that getting your flu shot does not only protect you against the flu, but it also cuts your risk of stroke. And this is what I mean when I say we change the world. And I mean the world to the people whose lives we have literally saved. Here's another number, a very big number. $1.41 billion. That's billion with a B. That's how much our Energize campaign raised, which is testimony to our community support, because we're not just the University of Calgary, we are the University for Calgary. And thanks to its support, our campuses are hives of activity, building new buildings, new places to teach, new places to learn, and new places to conduct research. Think of how the Taylor Institute and their incredible staff helped us pivot during COVID-19, and now continues to help us improve our student experience. Over the course of Eyes High, our number of patents increased by 52%, and last year alone, we declared 315 inventions. What are their impacts? We invented a blood test for breast cancer detection that's currently on the market. We invented a way to extract hydrogen from the oil sands, leaving the carbon in the ground. A rapid diagnostic tool to fight bloodstream infections, and a breakthrough treatment of Fragile X syndrome, the leading genetic cause of autism. And this is also what I mean when I say we change the world. It's not a tagline to say we make it healthier or more sustainable. It's the truth. So here's another number, about as small as they get. 1. As in number one, the number one university in Canada in creating startup companies. There are larger universities, there are older universities, but there are none more entrepreneurial than the University of Calgary. None with the innovation ecosystem that we have built together in collaboration with business leaders and entrepreneurs that only Canada's most enterprising city can produce. And we're incubating new businesses, new processes, and new patents each and every year. And we keep learning. Undergraduate degrees are up 25% since 2017. Graduate degrees, 55%. And it's not just the quantity of learning and teaching that we are proud of, it's also the quality. We're in the top 5 when it comes to metrics that measure the caliber of our teaching and our learning experience. Just another stat, right? Wrong. More than 80% of our University of Calgary students have an experiential learning opportunity as part of their program. In engineering, the internship program had record placement last year with 657 placements to be exact. And more than 90% of those students secured jobs. Whether it's internships here at home or learning opportunities abroad, we just don't talk about student experience, we enrich it. Since 2017, we've increased the amount we budget annually for scholarships and bursaries to support our students from $68 million to $122 million, a 39% increase in the funding for scholarships and bursaries over that period for our students at the University of Calgary. And I have to give a shout out to our dinos, our student athletes, our coaches, and our staff who strive for excellence every day and raise the reputation of the University of Calgary across the country with a national championship, with Canada West Championships, and last year with 248 academic All-Canadians, which is just remarkable. So all in all, I'd say the numbers paint a pretty good picture, and I hope you would agree. But there's much, much more to a university than the numbers. It's a testament to Calgary, for Calgary supporting this university, that our Energize campaign was so successful. Because I don't have to tell anyone here that this city, the city of Calgary, has had it rough. We all know someone hurt by the downturn. We all know how empty the towers are downtown. We also know that we're Calgary, and that Calgary does not stay down for long. We find a way to pick ourselves up, not passively waiting for opportunity to arrive, but actively creating it. Last year, the global tech giant Emphasis announced its Canadian hub for quantum computing would be right here in Calgary. It will create 1,000 jobs in the short term. But by 2040, it's estimated that there will be more than 26,000 jobs in quantum science across Alberta, with $16.5 billion in revenue in quantum. A decade ago, who'd ever even heard of it? Let alone imagining that quantum becomes a pillar of Calgary's economy, supporting advances in healthcare, energy, agriculture, and finance. I'll tell you who heard about it a decade ago: the University of Calgary. And thanks to our scholars and our students doing absolutely groundbreaking work, Emphasis chose Calgary. And over the next years and the decades, the talent we produce through the work that we do and the partnerships that we've created will produce new companies. And they will create new jobs. And they will help to grow and diversify our economy. This is the impact that you have, the impact that you create, not alone, but in partnership. Like the Energy Transition Center, with government and industry, the university and Innovate Calgary will generate new startups in low-carbon energy. It opened last week. I was there, apparently just for a coffee. I actually gave a speech. Anyway, but clearly it wasn't important. We were there to announce this incredible partnership with government, industry, Innovate Calgary, and Avatar. And what this will do is this will spur new companies and new jobs with reducing emissions in a really, really cool space to bring people together. And that's what we do. And that's what we do in partnership. When Eyes High set out to better integrate the university with the community, it didn't only have startups and the economy in mind. Take the 9-block project around City Hall that we're working with the city to reanimate, to revitalize, and make safer. We're not doing it from an ivory tower. We're doing it from the old library, now home to our city building lab, where scholars and students in our School of Architecture, Landscape, and Planning are making Calgary better from the heart of Calgary itself. We're also working with the city to encourage life into alleyways downtown as a key way to bring people to the core, and activating vacant and underutilized space to create a virtuous cycle of vibrancy. When COVID hit, we partnered with the city and AHS to create data dashboards to track its spread and inform our response. We led the world in developing and using this public health tool. It informed education initiatives across the city, which raised our vaccination rates across the city. And our students who were involved in this project saved lives through what they did. And of course, we continue to monitor wastewater for early signs that infections are spiking or new variants that have arrived. It is a terrific public health tool. When the new cancer center opens, scholars and students will be right there, embedded in the building, which will be a world-class research facility, finding new treatments, new cures, and new ways to recover. We're also helping people recover through our Faculty of Kinesiology, recently ranked, as I'm sure you haven't heard, the #1 sports science school in North America. Its groundbreaking work helping cancer patients has been expanded into a province-wide program Members of our community are also inspiring Canadians, illuminating truths, provoking needed conversations, and enriching our cultural life. Take, for example, Dr. Suzette Mayer, who I want to celebrate for her recent accomplishment. Last week, she won Canada's most prestigious literary prize, the Giller Prize, for her novel, The Sleeping Car Porter. This is a truly remarkable accomplishment. These are the impacts we have. This is how we, as a great research university, have always done. Improve the world around us. Returning people to health, returning people to the core, returning people to work, expanding our understanding of humanity. This is the impact we have. This is the impact that you have. And it's why we should be proud to work here, proud to teach here, and proud to learn here, because together we really are making the world a better place. And Canadians recognize this. In a recent NANOS poll, when asked what institution or organization will create the brightest future for Canada, universities ranked number one, with over 70% of Canadians ranking us number one, above the Supreme Court, above the RCMP. I don't want to tell you where legislatures, parliament, and political parties were. They weren't number one. So Canadians recognize the potential of your work and the work of our university and higher learning to influence the future. Really important. But there's more to do. Eyes High was the product of extensive consultations with more than 10,000 points of contact with the university, of course, but also with the wider community of Calgary. We are grateful for the wisdom, insight, and ambition that this produced. We were advised to keep our eyes high, and we are grateful for that advice. It created an excellent plan that was executed with skill, determination, and creativity. And I want to thank the leadership, faculty, staff, and students, past and present, for their contributions. Dr. Cannon and her team delivered Eyes High beautifully. Now, we need to do it again. This morning, we opened consultations on our next strategic plan, one that will take us through to 2030. We want it to be bold and to continue to differentiate the University of Calgary from our peers. We want it to be inclusive of all areas of our campus community and reflect the enterprising spirit of Calgary itself. I don't have to tell, once again, anybody what a challenging, often isolating time it's been for the last couple of years. We have been through a lot. Your families have been through a lot. The world has been through a lot, which is why it's now a perfect time to deepen our community engagement and re-energize ourselves and our direction. And developing a new strategic plan is an opportunity to provide clarity of vision and shared direction, to shape and guide our collective efforts. We're already receiving ideas, and we need more. We need yours. Share your insight. Share your goals. Make them audacious, bold, challenging, like setting out to become a top 5 research university. And what's next? Well, it's up to us to find out. And let's find out. Consultations opened this morning. You can share your ideas and your goals at ucalgary.ca/2030. We'll be announcing more ways for you to get involved very, very soon. And this process will run through to the spring. And it will, I am very sure, will improve us, better define us, and what sets us apart as the University of Calgary. We are, as you've heard me say once or twice, a place to start something. And John has started a new chant that we're going to have to adopt across the university. But that is what we are going to do again today. As I mentioned, we've got a hard act to follow. Eyes High served us very, very well. But every end is an opportunity to shape something, to challenge something, to improve something, which is what we are going to do. Because we are a great research university. We, and I mean that you, make the world a better place. You make Calgary better. And that is not just a noble goal, it's what we do every single day at our university with our community. But now, we've got to do more. So thank you very much.
What Eyes High did was provide a clear vision of where we wanted to go, and we wanted to be excellent in research, excellence in student experience, and engage with the community. And I think that was massive in changing this university.
Everything that we do in the past number of years has reflected Eyes High, so that includes the Indigenous strategy. The Indigenous strategies made significant progress since its implementation. It includes the increase in funding and increase in the amount of research happening.
We did put considerable money into teaching and learning with the Taylor Institute for Teaching and Learning, and we're one of the few universities that has done that.
The University of Calgary is now the #1 university in Canada in startup company creation. Those startup companies go on to create jobs and bring economic benefits to our region.
We are making quite innovative micro devices that are going to be used for rapid detection, point-of-care testing. We have focused on cancer, brain injuries, and basically infection. University of Calgary has extensively supported to get access to all the expertise we need all around the campus.
Well, entrepreneurial thinking is about being empowered to try things out and to do things, and we're really trying to embody that in everything we do.
Our students have a chance to really express themselves and bring forward a set of their own priorities and things that they want to talk about. There's many, many new pathways, and I think we need to let them lead. We are deeply, deeply connected to the performing arts sector here in the city of Calgary. For example, in music, we are collaborating with the Calgary Philharmonic Orchestra. Dance is regularly collaborating with Decidedly Jazz Dance Works. We have Wagon Stage Children's Theatre, and we're working with the City of Calgary to continue to bring these plays for family audiences to local parks all during the summer months.
We continue to keep moving forward, create a number of places where Indigenous peoples could clearly see themselves being present within the university. I know it's going to take some time, but I have faith that we're going to keep moving towards achieving all of the recommendations.
We've made such great progress over the last 10 years, and I want to see that just continue to another trajectory. Now's our opportunity to think about what's next. Where do we want to go now?
Great cities need great research universities, and the University of Calgary is that. I think that the new strategic plan can be a pivot towards saying, okay, we definitely plan to stay here in the top 5. And then from this position, we want to be a university that changes the world.
Now we're going to have a fun conversation with 4 of our students from the University of Calgary. And I'll introduce a little bit about the students as we begin the conversation. So nursing student Bill Zhang created Calgary's first pop-up care village, helping those without home access to medical help, haircuts, and assistance. Bill, quick question for you. How do you think we as a university can provide our students with opportunities to make a difference in Calgary?
Definitely, thank you. I think one of the biggest things that the university could help us as students to create these initiatives is to provide that funding for us to do so. So potentially more funding for projects or initiatives that are started by University of Calgary students and are joined by the University of Calgary students. As well, mentorship opportunities and networking opportunities for these students to be able to connect with the community and actually create that impact that is within the community.
How did the Calgary community respond to your pop-up?
Yeah, so it was actually really, really good. So the event was on September 27th, 2022 at Olympic Plaza. So I saw the video within that kind of 9 square, so it was right over there. It was super open space, so we had the community members who are maybe housed right now or have work that are, crossing the park. They were able to interact with a lot of our social services and healthcare services, and we have about 25 agencies there. And with our in-house neighbors, we were able to engage them, practically. So we had a team that's called Dope Transit. So that's a peace officer with a social worker from the Alpha House that came, and they were able to do like 8 of the low-income BAS application right on the spot, which is what we really wanted. So our next event is actually January 24th of 2023. So we want to bring about 30 to 50 partners this time.
Super. One of the superpowers of universities is the power to convene, and it's really terrific that our students are starting that power to convene.
Thank you.
Thank you. At Madison Hall opening last week, our Haskayne student, Chloe Crichton, spoke passionately about the impact of the new facility and how that will impact generations of business students to come. So Chloe, how can University of Calgary continue to enhance the student experience? And what do we need to do as a university to prepare students for careers that haven't even yet been invented?
Yeah, so I think that the university can enhance the student experience by focusing on events where students are able to come together, whether that be personal development events or fun events in general, or even professional development events. So just in general events and ways for students to create memories and kind of convene and get that sense of community. And then just looking at that second question there, I think that it's nearly impossible to prepare students for those technical skills that we don't even know we need yet. So really focusing on soft skills like communication, critical thinking, time management is really essential to prepare students for the future and creating versatile skill sets as well. That way, those skills can always be applied to any career, whether they exist right now or not.
What did you think of when you looked up in that Madison Hall opening and saw many generations of business who have been influenced by Dick Haskayne and that magnificent new space? What did you think of as somebody emerging in that community?
I think it was amazing. All I could think about was, these people were affected by business, and they probably worked in fields and careers that they didn't expect when they were in university, and they weren't prepared for those technical skills either, but they were prepared for the soft skills, which when you think about it is really incredible that they were able to go so far with it.
It was an amazing event. Our neuroscience grad and current medical student, Chayton Jessel, helped to create an open education resource fund to help students find free or low-cost alternatives to textbooks. And Chayton didn't have a lot of time off this summer after finishing his neuroscience degree and starting medical school in July at only a couple of months. So, Chayton, how do you think we can increase accessibility to education, as well as addressing social injustice to make Calgary better for everyone?
Building bridges to our community and to members of marginalized communities that have historically struggled to enter into the University of Calgary. Going to places where people, like potentially lower income areas of Calgary, that maybe have a lower rate of students enrolling in our university, and being there and showing students how much of a difference it can make in their lives to attend a university like ours, to share with them the incredible scholarships and bursaries we have available, to welcome them into our community. Being there, building those bridges, is the best way that we can allow for accessibility to thrive on our campus. In terms of improving, tackling social injustice in our community at large, and also here at the University of Calgary, there are so many incredible people here, whether that be students or scholars, that are working so hard to fight this fight. If we can support them however best we can make tremendous gains. We can make a really big difference. So supporting incredible students like the ones on the stage here, I think would be an incredible way to move forward and make our city a better place for all.
Great. Thanks, Chayton. Kinesiology student Ali Babwani is researching how the brain and hand muscles work together to help people, like his brother, who experienced a stroke as a baby, causing mobility challenges. Ali, how do you think University of Calgary can build on our proven track record for excellence to improve our student research and make our programs the best in the world?
Absolutely, thank you. So I think first and foremost is to definitely encourage early participation and engagement in research, and really creating a culture of fostering that involvement early on, as early as an undergrad's first year. I know for me that began at the end of my first year when I was awarded the Program for Undergraduate Research Experience, or PURE award as we know it, and that really laid the foundation for my research trajectory throughout my undergraduate studies, which was very exciting and something I'm incredibly grateful for. And I think the second one would probably be to foster intellectual flexibility and interdisciplinary collaboration. And what I mean by that is UCalgary has already done a phenomenal job with me as a student in terms of fostering that interdisciplinary collaboration and intellectual flexibility. I'm a kinesiology student that does neuroscience research in the field of pediatrics, that then looks at the applications in sport and disability as a kinesiology student. And so that inter-faculty and inter-field collaboration is something that I have been very fortunate to be a part of, and I think the University of Calgary can continue to encourage that and really build off of past successes.
You're one of the reasons why we're the #1 sports science school in North America, and number 10 in the world. Anyway, so thanks, Ali. I really appreciate it. But for all of you, what I'd like to hear from you is sort of your personal perspective, which is one of the reasons why we're gathered here today, is how we're going to keep moving this great university forward. And so I'd like to ask 2 questions, and anybody can answer at any time. What's the biggest thing that changed in your life given your experience at the University of Calgary? And in 2030, as you look back as a proud alumni, what would give you the most pride to see University of Calgary accomplish? And I'll open it up to the floor. And I know none of you are shy.
I guess I can start us off.
They are shy.
The thing that I think, the most important thing the University of Calgary showed me was that I was actually capable of change, of doing something meaningful in the community and the world at large. You briefly mentioned my OER work, or Open Education Resource work, but I further advocated to the actual provincial government when they were coming up with their AB 2030 plan for the future of post-secondary education in our province. And some of my advocacy helped them put open education resources as a key priority and a key area of advancement. That's something I did, right? The opportunities that I had to actually impact change, it made me realize that that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it inspires me to do more and more every day in service of the people at our university and in our community.
Bill?
Yeah. I'm a first-year student, so I've only been on campus for since September, so only 2-3 months, right?
How are those midterms going?
Oh yeah, they're going. But just within the short months, I was able to open up to my professors, instructors. They were able to accommodate me whatever way that I could, and also I wasn't afraid of asking for assistance or reaching out for support. Kind of like how you suggested that first-year students should be able to leap into this area. And I'm going to be honest, at first I was a little bit intimidated by the idea of reaching out to a professor, right, instructor. But after doing it a little while, you realize that they're all here to support you. So now I'm not afraid to be open up to everyone and being able to, if I'm interested in this area of research, to go and talk to them, in person, or schedule a meeting online to start that conversation. So I think that really, really is something that I am getting used to, and it's really good change. And also, University of Calgary is so flexible in terms of, my courses, so I'm able to participate in extracurricular activities that's outside of school. For example, I'm working 2 casual jobs right now, one as a harm reduction outreach worker, and the other one at the drop-in center as an adult care worker. So it really opened that flexibility for me.
Super. Chloe?
Yeah, for me, I think that my community has been built. To me, I've built my network, I've built friendships, and I've kind of felt my place in a community, which I've never really felt before. So for me, what's changed the most is that I feel like I'm so well surrounded, and the people that I surround myself with are really positive and help me grow as a person. And with that, I've been able to make professional connections as well, which will help me grow in my career as well.
Ali?
Yeah, and I think to just end off with the theme of community that I think we've all established here, I think the trajectory of both my professional and personal development has been completely revolutionized through the personalized mentorship that I've received at the University of Calgary, through numerous faculty members, clinicians, scientists, educators, but also members of our community that have really taken the time to develop students like myself. And I think the University of Calgary is in a unique position because it utilizes its community for the betterment of their students and the development of them.
So crystal ball time, 2030, looking back as an alumnus, what would give you the most pride for the University of Calgary to have accomplished? Quick shot.
I'll keep this short, but to see that my fellow students and fellow people in our community have accomplished something to change the world.
I think for me, it would definitely be to see that the university remains in the top 5 research institutes in Canada, and hopefully making its way to the very top, as well as we discussed earlier, preparing our students for jobs that don't even exist, and that's reflected in the diversity of our future undergraduate programs and offerings.
I come from a low-income family, so I like to see the university to continuously offer that bursary and scholarship for deserving students of all communities.
Yeah, much like what they said, I hope that the university remains one of the top schools and is able to well prepare their future graduates for their future careers.
Well, I'm pretty confident, given our students, that we actually will remain one of the top schools. It's just been amazing to talk to you. I really, really appreciate you taking the time. I know that courses, midterms, things like that are impacting us every day. And I really, really appreciate your contributions to the University of Calgary. It's what makes a research university very, very special, to have students engage right from first year in thinking about how they can create new knowledge, how they can transform the world around them. And what we want to do is to make sure that you have the landscape to paint and the tools to paint for that. So thank you so much. What the students, yes, thank you. So our students have talked a little bit about their personal vision, but we need your help, as I mentioned earlier. What's your personal vision for the University of Calgary? And if you want to check out the activation station at the back, that would be great. Take part in the consultations that we're launching today and help us create the future for your university and for the world. And with that, I'd like to invite John back to the stage.
Great job, guys. Great job. Beautiful. Am I still in the shot? I don't want to cut you off, Ed. I'm
Oh, no, it's fine.
Switch it up. Be over here. Is that okay, Melissa? Yeah, beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful panel. Hey, let's give them another round of applause. So since I'm still awaiting my teleprompter here, I'm actually going to ask Mr. Bill Zhang to just stand up and just come forward ever so slightly. Thank you, Bill. As a person that has had some experience, personal experience with some family members that experienced homelessness, the work that Bill did in the community brought our community together to support a group of people that are only increasing in number and need our support more than ever. I'd like to just personally recognize Bill for his contribution to Calgary and doing great work here. Thank you, Bill. Wow, just wow. I've been continually privileged to be around students, and I wish to be like, I was on stage during convocation, and I just whispered to Ed, I wish I got 2 degrees. But, it's a great reminder of how much UCalgary has achieved so far. It's phenomenal. No wonder we're Canada's youngest top 5 university ever. That's another round of applause, folks. We do things like no one else. So special thank you to Chloe, Bill, Chatton, and Ali for joining our student panel and for sharing your perspectives on what's going on. Obviously, there's so much more to do, but I think we're well on our path to doing that. I can't wait to see what UCalgary will become in 2030, because we're just getting started. Let's keep this conversation going, because we want to know what would fill you with pride. Looking at the university 8 years from today, what would be the proudest thing that UCalgary accomplished? It's time. It's time to seize the moment to make our future. But we need you to set our path. So, like Ed was saying, there's an activation station in the back. Heavily encourage you to head back there. Jot down some thoughts. You can check out the website this afternoon, ucalgary.ca/strategic plan. Sign up for the consultations to create our next strategic plan. In the coming months, you'll have the opportunity to take surveys, talk with roving feedback teams, join a workshop, host a workshop. There's so many ways for you to share your thoughts, your aspirations to help this great university become even better. I'm calling on you. Share your voice. Let us keep building the momentum that this great university, UCalgary, has gained so far into the future. And Ed, I'd invite you to stand up now. This is another off script. Ed, you're going to help me count down.
Yep.
Three. Yeah, there we go. Ed got it.
1.
Start something. I'm excited to see what's possible when we make UCalgary for 2030 and beyond. Thank you all for joining us here today.